From the disaster management unit for Fiji, we appreciate that the key stakeholders have come together again to share information and experiences and best practices as well. We know that we are vulnerable and we know that we are worst affected, but the words of the Prime Minister, we have to look within the region as well. And in the recent cyclone Pem, we in Fiji deployed a 50-man team to assist our Wantoks in Vanuatu. And of course, we are in the process of looking at that capability within Fiji and of course within the region as well. It's timely that we have this because for us, we need to take that proactive stance. We need to prepare well, and of course, particularly in building up the capacities within. And we really appreciate that we have brought the key stakeholders together, and most importantly, how we can influence and mitigate the risks involved so that we can be better prepared for future disasters.
I think, this is obviously a good starting point where we've got this regional gathering under the aegis of IMF and various other multilateral agencies. The idea is obviously to get everybody to be able to bring their own country experiences and look at the challenges they face, and there's obviously a lot of commonalities, and this is why, of course, this conference has been called, a workshop was called. So, whether it's done every year, whether it's done every 2 years, I think the point is that there are certain levels of commonalities which we can learn from, but sometimes you need to have specific policies that need to be adapted for specific countries. But on the other hand, there may be opportunities, as we discovered today, that can be, cross-cutting. And this is where, we look at multilateral agencies like IMF, World Bank, etc. They can provide some regional framework that we can all work towards and indeed be able to help each other. Some countries, as you know, do not necessarily have the capacity that may exist in others within the Pacific. So we need to be able to leverage off that, and how best we can, support each other, I think is very, very critical. Yeah, I think, as was discussed and highlighted by the Minister, Honourable Minister for Agriculture and Disaster Management, that you have what we call the preventative years. And this is when you don't have, natural disasters, but you need to prepare yourself for that. We cannot obviously stop a cyclone, but what you can do is you can actually ensure that you are prepared for a cyclone. And that can range from a whole range of factors, such as, whether your building structures are secure, whether the building codes that you have in place, meet up with, say, cyclone standards, whether infrastructure is, can bear the brunt of any of the sort of natural disasters. And then also in that period, you're able to, like we have done this year in the 2015 budget, set aside an initiative or incentive for private sector to contribute to a disaster fund where they can get various tax incentives. So that's how you prepare for it. And of course, in that period of preparation or preventative years, you are also then tying up, as the Minister is doing and has already done so, where he's already identified organizations or people or methodologies and logistics that is all in place and ready on standby, just in case something does happen. So you're not actually, caught by surprise. And as you've seen in the recent disasters, just a very simple example, the fact that there's a lot of messaging going out by the Honourable Minister's ministry, we were able to actually reduce the number of deaths. I think in one of the cyclones we didn't have any whatsoever related to the actual event itself, whereas previously we did. So it's the level of education, the level of preparedness, and getting that messaging out there that helps us prepare for that, and that's how you actually mitigate it.